Today's show is sponsored by the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is located in the St. Louis metro community of Arnold, Missouri, and is the world's first single-barrel-only liquor store. This store is owned and operated by Steve Akley and Jim Fosnot. Get signed up for their email distribution list to find out when the store will be opening, what their hours will be, and most importantly, what they will have in inventory at abvbarrelshop.com. We are also sponsored by The Bar to Go. The Bar to Go offers a fully customizable carrying case that allows you to take your favorite distilled spirits or cocktail ingredients with you. Whether you're looking for yourself, a customized gift, or logo items for your business or event, The Bar to Go can help. Check them out at thebartogo.com. Use the number 2 when you type out The Bar to Go. Did you know Neely Family Distillery now ships its popular distilled spirits directly to you? To order, simply call 859-394-3258. Tell them the ABV Network sent you. And now, on to the show.
Let's drink!
Welcome to the Bourbon Daily, the podcast about everything bourbon delivered to you every day of the week. Today on the show, we discussed if the Bourbon Daily could exist without Steve, as he is out on vacation at the moment. My name is McNew. Please join me in welcoming my co-host, Miss Beka Sue, along with our special guests, Kathy Cool and Katie Joyce.
Hello, everyone.
Hi.
I am Miss Beka Sue. Today we're discussing whether or not we can somehow survive without the infamous Steve Akley. I like to call him. But before we get into that, we're going to have some small talk with Kathy, and then we'll be popping some bottles. So, Kathy, what was it you wanted to talk about tonight?
So this, I don't know if they've ever had an all-girls podcast on the Bourbon Daily before. But boys think that when girls get together, they have like pillow fights in their negligees, right?
That's all we do, I think.
Yeah, it's a secret.
Right. So, what do you guys talk about when you get together with your girls?
We talk trash.
Trash, and we're really gross. Like,
Yep.
some bodily functions in there.
Yep.
It's disgusting, honestly.
Disgusting. Like showing you, like, do I have a thing on my back? Could you look at it?
Yep.
Like, I've got a weird thing. And, like, it's just, like, weird. And, like, I don't know if you guys sit around and try out some weird filters sometimes, like, with your friends on a Snapchat, and you just, like, sit and laugh at each other. Because, like, it's not going to be funny to anyone else.
Yeah.
You don't post it anywhere.
You freeze them, and then you email them to each other, or text them to each other the next day.
Yeah, it's so dumb. It's all the dumb things that nobody else would think is funny. It's just, you get to be dumb with a couple of people in your life, and that's great.
Yeah, sometimes when you get older, you talk about, like, your ailments.
Another sexy topic.
And your periods.
Oh, yeah.
I think if a man drops in on, like, a female, like, girls' night, they would be like, oh, my God, these are disgusting creatures. Like, let me switch teams right now. Like, they would be appalled.
Pretty much.
I think
But I've never pillow fought with girls in negligees. Never happened.
No.
Not really. I'll tell you this. The one thing that I've ever done with, like, pillows with my girls is, for whatever reason, we put pillows that were in their actual pillowcases on top of our heads to see if we could balance them on top of our heads, and then we would drink. So, that's the only, like, there was no pillow fight.
Flat on your head?
Like,
Or were they, like a tower?
And then you put your head inside of the case, and you put the front of the case, and then the pillow is a little bit behind you, and it pulls back on your face, and then you see how long you can actually sit there with it on top of your head.
This is a fun game. I see this happening on a game night with ABV Crew Club, Evan Van Scoik.
Fun game.
Yeah.
Would you guys say that during because there is inevitable shit talking that happens whenever there's a girl night.
Oh yeah.
Would you say it's focused on your significant others, your other friends, or just random people in the world?
People I encounter at work.
Okay.
Yeah, I'd say that's the most frequent is like people that you encounter throughout the day or at work. Significant others would probably be the next best, but it has to be the right group of people who will like still love them and know that like you're just venting. So it has to be that special group that because you don't want to like ruin like their possible friendship with your friends.
Yeah.
But it's always safe to talk about like coworkers and other people you may come across just in the grocery store, etc. That I'd say that's the most common.
Mm-hmm.
McNew, what about for you? Which is it? How's it the lineup?
Definitely significant others because I don't know, living with a man is hard. Like it's not as fun as I thought it would be.
At what point did you think?
Fun.
At what point did you think fun was going to happen?
Yeah, I don't know. I don't know because I know what this house looked like before I moved in, and I don't know why I thought it would get better without me doing it all. I don't know.
Should be a blast. Yeah, it turns out it's not a blast.
No, and then definitely people we mutually know. Like my best friend and I met at work in our very early 20s. So former coworkers, like we're just like, what is that person doing? And it turns into a rabbit hole of seeing what everybody else was up to and a lot of shit talking.
So that's it. So tonight there'll be shit talking, but no pillow fights.
That's right.
This evening, apparently.
Sorry, guys, to disappoint everybody.
Well, let's see what everybody's drinking tonight. Let's start with Katie. What do you got for your bottle tonight?
Okay, I have some Good Times bourbon. And so this is from Indiana. And I just picked it up today, actually. It says it's Missouri's first release. It's their single barrel double oak heavy char. It's a lot of words. Okay, here we go.
Ooh, it was cute.
It was cute.
That was an adorable cork pop.
Little pop.
Let's go with Kathy next. What are you drinking?
Well, since this is a podcast without Steve, and what would the world be without Steve? I'm having Secret.
It's like he's here.
It's like he's here.
Cute. Good.
Bassier, but still cute.
Mm-hmm.
McNew?
I don't know. Katie, I think ours are actually from the same company. Was yours Indiana Whiskey Company out of South Bend?
It's not bottled by the Whiskey Thief Distilling Company, Frankfort, Kentucky, but it says distilled in Indiana. So
MGP?
So it's MGP.
Distilled in Indiana and then bottled in Kentucky. Oh, it's NCF. I'm confused on what this is.
Well, it's just the same shape bottle, but anyways, mine is
But
from...
she licked the bottle just to be sure.
There is a drip down the side of it. Let me see where this is from. I will lick the bottle and tell you what distillery this is from.
Figure it out. This isn't going to do much, though. No.
So these were all shit pops tonight so far, and unfortunately I'm not going to make it any better because I've just got a sample. I would say that if I was going to go with a cork pop, I would probably go with, although Katie's was cute, I would say that Kathy's was at least the bassiest. So
I agree. Kathy's was more of that.
I'm giving it to Kathy. I've just got a sample of our Neely high rye bourbon.
It's a shame Heidi isn't on. You know she would have popped a new Yellowstone and blown her ears out.
Of course.
Cheers, guys.
Cheers, guys. Ladies.
Ding.
Oh, yeah. Cheers, ladies. We have to say ladies all night long.
Yes.
Ladies.
So, ladies, what do we think, ladies?
So, when we come back from
You're
the
talking
break,
about boobs.
we're going to be discussing whether or not we can survive without Steve Akley.
Let's talk about the people who make these shows happen. First up is the ABV Barrel Shop. The ABV Barrel Shop is owned and operated by Steve Akley and Jim Fosnot in the greater St. Louis area. It is the most unique shopping experience in the world of bourbon, as the ABV Barrel Shop only focuses on single barrels. We aren't open just yet, but our plan is to have the most diverse single barrel offerings from our many friends in the world of bourbon. By signing up for a weekly email, you will know our entire inventory we have on hand. In addition to single barrels, we'll have a tasting bar and a gift shop featuring logo merchandise for both the shop and the ABV network, as well as a full curriculum of bourbon education classes. Additionally, we'll use the gift shop to feature products from our partners in the world of bourbon, companies like Art Eatable Chocolates and Old Man Bay Signs. Head over to ABV Barrel Shop to sign up for our email and text distribution list so you can stay in the know. Hi, this is Steve Akley, owner of the ABV Network. We're sponsored by the Stave and Thief Society. This is where you, a bourbon enthusiast, can expand your knowledge and emerge a bourbon steward. In 2017, I completed my Executive Bourbon Steward certification. It's the most comprehensive bourbon certification program available and connects you with an expansive network of bourbon enthusiasts and professionals. Check out the full listing of in-person and online certifications and join the society today by enrolling at staveandthief.com. Okay, let's talk about Neely Family Distillery. In 2018, I met Royce Neely at an industry event. He started appearing on our shows, and we became friends during my frequent visits to Kentucky. Today, he's leading the way for young distillers making their mark on the bourbon industry. A visit to Neely Family Distillery combines family history, a look at what makes their products unique, and of course, a tasting through their whiskeys, moonshines, and creams. Check them out at NeelyFamilyDistillery.com and visit them in Sparta, Kentucky.
Hello, this is Jeff from Iowa, and you're listening to the Bourbon Daily with Colonel Steve.
Welcome back to the Bourbon Daily. Today, we are in dire straits without Steve Akley. Can we survive?
That's right, McNew. We're here without Steve Akley. We have no idea what to do. We're running amok, one could say. We haven't drank ourselves into oblivion yet, but we are still on our first show. So we are upright. There's no pillow fights yet. And I think we're going to survive probably just fine if I can really dig in deep to my inner Steve Akley. I'm not sure who that is, but I'm going to try to get us to that point at some point tonight. I'll see if I can get my Steve Akley voice out or not. But
are we going to get a deeper voice?
Slightly afraid.
As the night goes? I was going to ask that.
I just need a beard and some goggles is really the main thing.
Yeah.
So if we're talking about Steve, let's talk about what is it that Steve brings to this that always keeps us in line. I mean, let's talk about where does Steve add into our podcast the best? Or excuse me, not our podcast, Steve's podcast, because we do love our Steve and we do love him around. He's on vacation, so we're gonna try and tame the troops and see what we can do here for the next 2 months, McNew?
It feels like 2 months.
It feels like
it feels like a world tour with Steve right now. All over.
The McNew and Beka Sue show is going to be something else over the next couple weeks. I think it's 5 weeks or something.
Yeah.
But what is it that we're that we really need Steve around for? Katie, what do you think?
Well, you've done a fantastic job so far at the cadence of the introduction and what he says. So that was going to be my very first concern, was that it's consistent of the way that he introduced the shows. We'll see how you sign off the show at the end of this one. But I was going to say that's one of the most iconic things, especially for the Bourbon Daily, is that we have that consistency there. Even recording it in my head, a lot of times I'm saying along with him, because it's so much, but it's not oh, he's saying the same thing again. It's comforting. It's part of what makes it this show. So, but I mean, so far you nailed that. So we're not going to miss that part.
Okay, so we're not going to miss that. All right.
So far, we don't need Steve.
Yeah, McNew, what do you think? What's your thoughts on missing Steve Akley?
So I am very grateful he gave you his job. I'm great. I just show up and do what I always do. I just got to remember to hit record this time. He keeps things in order. We could all, myself, you, the guests, we could always go off the rails, and he just reins it back in. It's a talent, right? Because it'd be so easy to join us on whatever tangent we go on, and he just knows, it's perfect timing to rein us all back in. I think that's going to be challenging. I don't want that job.
We could all black out. The show could go on.
How brave was he to give us 5? I was maybe give us 3, but he gave us 5 on our first time.
I noticed that.
Do we have 5 shows?
Yes.
Oh no. I didn't even know that. I looked at the notes. Let's be fair. I maybe just scrolled down the 4th one. I have 4 bottles. I'll have to grab another one. I didn't even realize we had 5 shows tonight. I assure the listeners that I definitely have done my deep dives of research here.
Now they can guess which one's the 5th show that you knew nothing about until Lily.
Yeah, I'm gonna go. I don't even know what the hell we're talking about at this point. Kathy, what are you gonna miss about Steve not being around for the foreseeable future?
So I know that he does have that ability to at least appear sober throughout the whole thing.
I will not hold that. So you're aware.
I don't know when he's drunk or when he's sober. It's a talent.
He has a few tells, but they're not very obvious.
Okay, maybe that'll be our next small talk. He came up with all the topics for us. We don't have to come up with the topic to talk about.
No, he did write all the shows for us.
Yes, I say really, this is kind of ideal. Like he did all the back work, wrote all the shows, gave us the information ahead of time, and then we get to sit here and do the fun part. I mean,
yeah,
I think we're onto something.
Get drunk and talk to our friends. Like what a horrible night, right?
Awful.
Absolutely.
So his download count might, not be so high after this, but no.
So
and he's got the inside scoop a lot. He talks to all these people, and he knows insider information.
He always knows the scoop. I'll say this, something that is one of my favorite things that Steve Akley does is when he goes off on tangents.
Yes.
Angry old man Steve.
I love a good angry Steve when he goes off on a yelling tangent about whatever. And then the other best part about Steve Akley that I miss whenever he's not on here, which is obviously not very often because not at all, is the classic real Steve Akley laugh.
Yes.
Oh, I love that.
A real Steve Akley laugh when he genuinely finds something funny is the absolute best thing ever. And like there's a Steve Akley like, yeah, that's pretty funny. But when he just goes, yep. and he might be having a stroke for all we know. We're not really
You did it perfect. The arms kind of curl up like that a little bit too.
That's something that the listeners will no doubtedly miss over the next couple of weeks is the Steve Akley tangents, keeping us in line. They're gonna miss his little jokes as well. Now we give out some good jokes. Steve Akley can also deal out some pretty good jokes, I'd say.
Yeah, and his are usually like personal, not in an attacking way, but he knows how to like call out every single person on the show. And it's good. It's good when he does it. It's always perfect timing.
Yeah, he's got good timing. There's no doubt about that. The old Steve Akley timing. But regardless of all those things, can we survive without Steve?
I feel like we should have like pulled a prank at the beginning of the show and been the announcement of like he's gone forever. He's been booted from his own podcast.
He's taking over. You and me on the tip.
We probably should have started the whole podcast off with McNew announcing everyone and then just crickets.
Yes.
Absolutely nothing. No one's here. No one showed up. It's just McNew. And she should have announced an old show.
Hey guys, how's it going? Nothing.
Well, I'm here with my cat tonight. We're drinking.
We're started in with a different podcast. It's highly spirited. Oh, this is the wrong show.
You guys want to hear some good stories?
Well, I think that's great. I don't know what more praise we can give to Steve in this sense, which he did not ask for. I think he was probably not expecting us to say all the things we liked about him.
I think he expected us to talk a lot of shit. He was like, it's a girl's night. They're gonna talk shit about me. And
well, we did just talk about how we talk shit.
What version of the show did you guys get? My notes have all kinds of compliments I'm supposed to talk about here. We're supposed to talk about the beard. We're supposed to talk about the sense of style with the shirts. I'm not sure how either of those have anything to do with the podcast, but they're here on my notes. It's in like little red notes. You guys don't have that?
I should have probably grabbed my Tommy Bahama shirts if I would have been smart.
Shut up.
I do have at least a barrel stave hat on. I need to get my beard. I'm sure it's somewhere hidden in some stuff. I probably do have a beard somewhere. That's not a joke. I know I've got one laying around. Yeah, say this needs to be up. I need to look like I don't have any. I just have a beard. We'll figure that out next show. I'll maybe do some cosplaying for the next show. All right, but I think that we've given Steve enough praise. We don't need to build his ego up any more than we already have at this point. So let's talk about where everyone can find us. Let's start with Kathy. Kathy, where can we find you at?
I'm on Facebook. My name is Kathy Poole.
All right. Katie Joyce.
Well, first off, this is going well because as soon as you said that, I was like, wait, did we already pop the bottles? Have we drank yet? When clearly, very clearly we did. So
Yes.
we're doing good. You can find me on Instagram at Katie Proof.
McNew.
I am on Instagram at McNew ABV.
All right, you can always find me at Miss Beka Sue, 1K, no C's on Twitter and on Instagram. You can also find me down at Neely Family Distillery, picking out all of your single barrels, giving out tastings. You can not find me most of the time over at the ABV Barrel Shop over in St. Louis, but I should probably plug that in there. I don't even know all the rest of the things that Steve says because he didn't write it down, so I'm not going to actually plug those in.
We know he's an easy guy to find.
Okay, but him, yeah, he's
We
an easy
can
guy to
find
find.
Steve, though. Show how much I listen
You
at
can find me on World Wide Web at steveakley.com, but the most important place to find me is at the abvnetwork.com, where we have all of our shows, our gift shop,
Podcasts.
and information on the ABV Barrel Shop.
And podcasts over 3,000.
Over 3,000 podcasts.
3,000? I'm not sure what it is. All right, McNew, and anything else to say before we get out of here?
I would like to remind the audience to please give us a 5-star review. That includes comments. It helps new people find the show, which is very important to us. And if you like what we're doing, we ask that you please visit our Patreon page at patreon.com/the ABV Network.
See ya.
Bye.
Peace. Before we finish the show, let's talk about some great companies that support the ABV network. First up is Moonshine Still Pro. Moonshine Still Pro has a full line of products to help the home distiller. Whether you want to experiment on the stove in your kitchen or you're looking for a bigger setup in your backyard, owner Russell Creed and his team can help. They have multiple still offerings, accessories, and even grain from their partners at Goldstone Mill to assist you in making whiskey on par with your favorite distillery. They can also help you with some fabricated parts you probably can't make yourself if you are attempting a DIY still project. Learn more or order your still or parts at moonshinestillpro.com. Another friend of ours is the Goldstein family at Goldstone Mill. The Goldsteins offer a variety of heritage and heirloom grains to make the finest whiskeys in the world. Plus, they are more than just a grain company. They are truly consultants to make sure the grains they are providing to you or your business meet your highest expectations. Additionally, they work with mills around the country, ensuring shipping is as low as possible for their customers. If you're a distillery, brewery, or even doing this at home, Goldstone can assist you. Check them out at goldstonemill.com, call them at 217-254-6613, or check in via email at hello@goldstonemill.com. Last but not least is the ABV Barrel Shop. While we don't get to play in the allocated bourbon game because we aren't selling the other products you have to do to get those, we do have access via our friendships in the bourbon industry to some really cool stuff. Have you ever seen your favorite craft distiller selling some really cool limited offerings only in their gift shop? I'm talking things like the hazmat offering Distillery 291 did for their 10th anniversary, or Neely Family Distillery's upcoming Papaw's birthday barrel. They don't have enough of it to send it out to distributors, so they only sell it via their gift shop. Well, companies like Distillery 291 and Neely Family Distillery have agreed to sell us 2 or 3 cases of these offerings moving forward, meaning our store will have the access to some of the rarest whiskeys in the world. Way more difficult to come by than the allocated bourbon offerings with a national release. Yes, they will be extremely tough to come by, but if you're a customer of our store, you'll have a chance to get them. Get signed up for our email or text list over at abvbarrelshop.com so you don't miss out.
The Bourbon Daily is part of the ABV Network. For more information or to become a sponsor, please visit abvnetwork.com. Thanks for listening and cheers.
This has been a Steve Akley production.